Hey guys, welcome in. Today we got a new lesson today on how to draw a face and how to try to make it look a little bit more realistic. A challenge for kids is always trying to make their faces and their people look a little bit more realistic, and especially I do this for second grade, so especially once they get second, third, fourth grade, it's starting to make them look a little bit more realistic and a little less cartoon-like. So that's what we're going to work on today, getting some of those proportions and making the face line up a little bit better and more evenly to make it look a little bit more realistic. So I'm going to get right into it. So the first thing that I want to do is when I draw, as always, I always say, hold your pencil back. Don't hold it like you're writing your name, just in case you make a little mistake. We want to start out with more of an oval shape. So I'm going to start out with an oval shape. And I'm doing that shape almost kind of like an oval or an egg. And sometimes I do it 3 or 4 or even 10 times around just to kind of perfect it and make it the way that I want it. I want it to go a little bit more to a point on the bottom and I guess a little bit wider on the top. But once I get that, then I can always go back and kind of make it darker as I got a pretty good idea of the shape. So that's my basic egg shape. Looks kind of like an egg. And then I want to split that in half. So really, really lightly, I'll split it down this way in half. And then also at the top. Also at the top, I'll split this. And then it basically makes almost like a plus sign on your little oval. And then that's how you set up the eyes. Believe it or not, your eyes are in the middle of your head. I always have kids actually start with the top of their finger and put it on the top of their head and then kind of run it down to the middle of their eyes and see how much distance, from the top of your head all the way down till in between your eyes. And usually that's where I start setting the eyes. And eyes, for the shapes for eyes, I would go with usually say it with me, a football. Usually most people do a football shape for the eyes. So kind of an oval, but then it comes to a point. So for the eyes, I do the point on the side and then football. Trying to make them about even. Usually a good trick is that you should have your head about 5 eyes wide. So that's a good trick to have. So you should, even though you aren't going to draw a 3-eyed person, you'd want to have room, to do that if you were to do that. So it should be about 5 eyes wide. So you got enough room in there. And then for the nose, I always start out, noses are probably, I would say, the most difficult out of this. But noses, I always start out with parentheses, kind of parentheses on the sides. And then I don't connect that. Some people do connect it. I feel like this kind of part of the cheek kind of just blends into the eye up there. So I kind of do the little parentheses and then I do the line from up here to up here. And I don't connect that. And then almost like an upside down U on each side. And that's why I have that line in there, so I can kind of balance and make everything symmetrical and line up proportionally. So I got the nose, I got the eyes, mouth, I do right below there. There's a little bit of gap in between your lip and your nose, so about that size. So I do almost like an M, but a really, really stretched out M. Really, really stretched out M. Sometimes it looks like those generic birds that are flying in the sky. Some people kind of comment on that as I'm drawing it. And then for the under, a nice long stretched out U, kind of an upside or like a U shape that connects to a point. So important for the eyes and the mouth to kind of have that they come to a point on each one. So they come to a point. And you see it has a lot of forehead, and sometimes that kind of frustrates kids that they don't want it to have that much forehead. But if you think of it, most people's hair, covers up so much. This part is all hair, whether it's a boy that has bangs or a girl's that's hair kind of comes in front of their forehead, that kind of takes up a good portion of it. And then also what helps it make it look a little bit more realistic is adding your neck. And your neck kind of comes out from, I guess, your jaw line, or almost, if you follow it all the way up to the bottoms of your ears on here. It kind of follows all the way up there, and then it kind of goes down. Some people have kind of almost giraffe-like necks where they do them really, really small in here, but I like to stretch it out a little bit, and then I kind of curve it to kind of follow that face line on each side, so it kind of curves back into there. And then, like I said, you can add the ears. Ears probably line up, I would say, with about the bottom of the eyebrows or the top of the eyes, so a nice little curve on the top and almost like a backwards C on one side. And I think it goes to about, if you line it up, about to the bottom of the nose. So kind of like a real skinny C on there. And then that little part that you actually plug your ears with, that little flab of skin on there. And you can always add, you know, more and more details as you go. This side would be a regular C on this side. Hopefully they line up both on both sides. So this, again, it's kind of like that C shape, but just a real skinny C. And then obviously whatever kind of hair that it is. So hopefully this helps you at least getting a good start on your little features. Some of those are a little bit more complicated than others, but hopefully this helps you at least set up some of those proportions to make it look a little bit more realistic, you know, from there. So definitely, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the like button down below, and as always, give me a subscription. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button down below. That's the easiest way to get all my videos. I think I got almost about 50 right now, so I'm kind of getting to that magic number. So thanks for all the views and all the likes and all the comments and good stuff that you guys have been giving me for ideas and stuff on videos. So thank you, and we will see you guys later.